What's up guys, welcome back to today's video, which is a story time all about how I was addicted to tanning. Yes, I know, I can't believe I'm admitting this out loud. I was addicted to tanning, and in my early 20s, I actually developed skin cancer from tanning. You guys know skin cancer is on the rise. They say 80% of people are going to have it. Guess what? It chose me so early directly because of tanning. Not only have I spent hours outside, thousands of dollars on tanning, increased my risk of skin cancer, probably gave myself premature wrinkles, and who knows what else. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys how I went from this to this in 2 years of going absolutely sun-free, saving myself. And if I can save just one person with this video, just save one person to stay out of the sun, it will be worth it. So if you're ready to hear all about how I was addicted to tanning, grab a snack, grab a coffee, pretend you came over because I have got a story to tell you. I'm going to tell you exactly how I broke my addiction, how I'm rediscovering myself as this brand new Casper white color. I've got so much to share with you guys, so let's do it. Alright guys, where do we even begin other than I guess at the very beginning of the story? 15-year-old Trevor pretending to be 16 years old, starting tanning beds at literally 16. I mean, I can't even believe this. I used a fake name and pretended to be someone else who was 16 so that I could tan when I was in junior high. My tanning addiction started so young. I mean, here I am, 15 years old, lying to go tanning to look like Paris Hilton on The Simple Life. You know, the epitome of bronze. I mean, she basically looked like an orange-brown crayon, but that was like the color that everyone wanted to be. Oh my gosh, and remember when you were younger, you used to put those like tanning stickers of like a heart or a Playboy bunny so you could see how tan you got? Oh, I forgot all about this and I can't believe I'm remembering it all right now. So anyway, in junior high, I started tanning at this tanning salon downtown. I probably looked like a young child. I used to walk all the way downtown. My parents did not know. They would kill me if they knew that I was tanning, but like as if they didn't know that I was getting tan over time. Duh. So I'd say my tanning addiction started off fairly slowly when I was in junior high, because I probably didn't have the money to buy all those tanning packages. Back then it was really expensive when tanning first started. I'd say I only tanned about once a week, but starting at 15 years old, that's when I started to develop that tan brown color. Fast forward a few years to high school, guys, I was frying like a crispy piece of bacon in every tanning bed across the city. I used to go tanning at 2 places in the same day. I can't believe I'm saying this to you guys. I used to go tanning at 2 different salons because the salon was like, you cannot tan more than once a day. You can't even tan every day back to back. And I'm like, okay, fine. I will find other salons to go around and just get tan. I was getting so tan. I was like the color of a tree stump. I remember one time this big purple birthmark or something like showing up on my stomach because I was so tan. My stomach was literally purple. And you know, you'd start at 7 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 18 minutes, 20 minutes. I can't even think about spending 20 minutes in a tanning bed right now. First of all, I have ADD, so I could never lay there this long now, but oh my gosh, just literally frying yourself. I'm gonna insert some pictures here about how brown I was and how tan I was and how far I've come to be this Casper white, but like, oh my gosh, guys. I do remember in high school, toward those later years and into my university years, that's when booster beds started to come out. Those were like those super powerful, intense beds. I'm laughing because I can't believe that this even was like real. Oh my God. I just remembered the craziest thing, guys. Woo! I feel like I just had a That's So Raven moment, but like a memory in the past. I used to tan at this place, guys. I'm not going to say the name. It's not there anyway. Oh, the chain still exists though. It was a stand-up tanning bed. You would hold on to the bars at the top, and there was not even any like plexiglass on the tubes, like the lighting tubes. It was chicken wire, like chicken mesh wire. You could stick your fingers through and touch the bulbs. It was all... I can't believe this. Oh my gosh. And now I remember using tinglers. Like you guys know, you always use a lotion when you tan. Tinglers stimulate circulation, so you turn bright red, so you get a deeper, richer tan, aka like SOSing your body. But if you've used a tingler before, you guys know that your skin turns bright red when you use it. And the first time I ever used a tingler, I remember I used it on my face. I used it on my face. My face was bright red. I remember driving home in the car after that. This had to be like, I had to be just 16 or 17 at this point. I remember driving home and the window was down in my car and like the breeze that was hitting my face was so sensitive. It was burning. It felt like an ice cube because it was one of those cooling sensations now that I remember. I will never forget that. Okay, so here I am in my late teens and my early 20s, just like tanning up a storm, looking like the color of a Kit Kat bar or like hot chocolate, just looking like the craziest color. And I'll never forget this. One day I was laying at home looking at my arm and all of a sudden I had a mole. Yep, there was a brown mole on my arm. Now, something you might not know about me is that I do not have any moles. I do not have any birthmarks. There is no like weird funkiness going on there. So when I saw this mole, I was like, oh no, it's happening. Like it's happening to me. So I put my shoes on. I basically ran to my doctor. My family doctor, who I'd had for years at this point, was like, okay, Trevor, I'm not going to alarm you. He was like, but I'm not even going to send you to a dermatologist. We are going to cut it off today. Like, you need to get that off today. And I'm like, oh, okay. I actually have a scar right here where he cut it off. That scar never went away. But I should backtrack a little bit and let you guys know a little bit more about this mole in case any of you out there have any moles that you need to get checked out. So this mole developed one day, just like a little brown spot. And I was like, that's weird. Maybe it's an ingrown hair. Maybe it's a pimple. But over about the course of a week to 2 weeks, it actually turned into a brown mole and started growing at an alarming rate. I got into the doctor around 2.5 weeks, I'd say, maybe 3 weeks by the time the spot had like started to by the time it fully developed into a full brown mole. And that's why my doctor was so shook and was like, we've got to cut this off right away, send it to the lab, make sure what's going on, make sure everything is okay, because he didn't even want to waste the time to send me to a dermatologist. So anyway, I sit there at my doctor's office, I hold my arm out, he takes his little scalpel, he freezes it, he cuts it out, he stitches me up, he sends the sample off to the lab, sends me home to just like think all the time about, oh my gosh, am I dying? Do I have like some form of melanoma? What kind of skin cancer do I have? Just like, you know, all those thoughts that you have when you don't know what's going on. Needless to say, you can imagine how I'm freaking out over the course of like a week or 2 weeks or however long it took to get the results back. Long story short, I end up going back to the doctor. I don't remember exactly what kind of skin cancer it was. For some reason, I'm thinking basal cell. It wasn't like the deadly one that had spread to my bloodstream, thankfully. That's the one we were most scared of. That's the one the doctor was most concerned for. That's why he cut it out right away and sent it off to the lab. I mean, that stuff can spread all through your body in a heartbeat, but I was lucky enough to get that spot removed and it had not spread anywhere else. I was totally in the clear, so thank for that. I mean, that's just something that you think will never happen to you, and then all of a sudden it happens in your early 20s, which totally fits with the cancer research. 80% and 1 in 5 people will develop skin cancer. So make sure you're always checking your body, especially your back, in places you don't see all the time, for any moles, spots, and as soon as you see something, get to the doctor. Okay, now the saddest part of this story is that after I had my skin cancer removed, guys, I continued to tan. Herein lies the addiction, the true addiction. Either I was addicted to looking tan, or I was addicted to the time that I spent in the tanning bed, you know, like that 10-minute break, that 10-minute solstice. There was something about tanning that I obviously was so addicted to that despite having skin cancer cut off, still having a scar that I see all the time, I continued to tan. I mean, how much more stupid can I get? I am so disappointed in myself. So I continued to tan for a couple more years. I also spray tanned, I Saint-Tropez, I lotioned, I potioned, I self-tanned on top of real tanned, on top of sun-tanned in the sun. I mean, my skin was just screaming at me. It was so brown. It was the color of like mahogany wood, which is the color that I thought looked good. I mean, I'll still insert some more pictures here. It's like I almost couldn't tell how tanned I was because I was like in this cyclical cycle stuck full of tanning. And as soon as I got a little bit pale, I would think like, oh my gosh, I'm white as paper, like I need to go tanning again. It just creates this cycle over and over, this cycle of madness, this cycle of perpetual tanning, which just doesn't exist. So that brings us to 2 years ago when I decided to go absolutely sun-free at the advice of my ultimate BFF Jillian, who has been sun-free for about 10 years now, and her complexion looks incredible. Her skin is so silky smooth, her texture's amazing, there's no fine lines, there's no wrinkles. I mean, it's just a testament to how staying out of the sun really helps. So I remember this was in August, and I decided at the end of August, I am no longer going in the sun. When I made this decision, I was actually sitting on my back deck in the sun, sun tanning, when I was like, okay, I'm gonna enjoy these last couple of weeks, just enjoying the sun, because come September, I'm going sun-free for the rest of my life. And if you guys know anything about me, it's that when I set my mind on something, I accomplish it, I do not cheat, because you guys know my ultimate motto is, if you don't win, you lose, and I'm not a loser, I'm a winner. When I decided to go sun-free, I am never going back, I am never going in the sun, I am never destroying my skin. Now let me tell you guys, the last 2 years have been very difficult. It has been very difficult to stay out of the sun, to stay out of tanning beds, to rediscover the color of the person I am that I haven't been this color in about 10 years or so. Breaking the addiction is the hardest part. I almost felt like I was a smoker. Like that's how intimately, how intensely I felt like I was addicted to tanning. It almost was like a cigarette craving, but like a tanning craving. I don't know how to explain it other than that. So over the course of 2 years, I had to rediscover everything about my physical self, my physical appearance, which was actually really difficult. My hair even darkened because I stayed out of the sun. So I'm telling you everything from the color of my hair to the color of my skin, just everything about me looks completely different than what I'm used to for all these years. So I do feel a little bit of like, Whew, what's going on? And it has been very hard. But I have to say, after finally completing 2 years of being totally sun-free, guys, the benefits of going sun-free are absolutely amazing. Now, other than avoiding skin cancer, some of the physical benefits that I've seen of staying out of the sun for my skin have been astronomical, guys. I had such a deep redness in my skin that was so deep that I just couldn't get rid of. That was really those pigments holding on to all of that color deep in my skin. It made my skin look so discolored. I also was starting to develop sunspots along my eye here, along the outer sides of my face, and even on the side of my nose. As soon as I saw these sunspots, I was like, that is it, gig is up. We're staying out of the sun. So aside from the redness going away, controlling my sunspots, I've also noticed the texture of my skin is so much smoother. My skin looks tighter, it looks more iridescent, more glowing, more bright. I mean, supposedly the myth is you look better with a tan, but honestly, my skin looks way more glowing, bright, and alive with no tan and with staying out of the sun. Anyway, guys, that's my story time on how I was addicted to tanning, how I developed skin cancer in my 20s, how I broke my addiction, how I conquered my addiction. It was a tough one, I tell ya. I mean, it was almost impossible to escape the 2000s without being a tanorexic. If you used to tan, let me know in the comments down below. I love to hear from you guys. Until the next video, you can always keep up with me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Until the next video, guys, I'll see you then. Bye.